Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This is the long-awaited interview with Derailious. This was recorded back in December of 2024 and it just sort of sat on my computer, and today I decided I'm going to edit this. So here it is. Make sure to use code CANDY on the Hypixel store or code RAIL, that's up to you. Decide who you like better, decide who won the argument. There isn't much of an argument, but decide who you like better and use one of those codes whenever you check out on the Hypixel store for 5% off. Otherwise, if you guys want us to make more of these, just let us know who you want to see on next. We were thinking maybe I'm a Squid Kid, but if you guys have any other suggestions, just let us know. And I hope you enjoy the listen. Start recording. Okay. Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Guys. This is going to be the most scuffed thing ever uploaded to this channel.
You like
That's
podcasts, guys?
You like listening to two people talk about something that doesn't matter?
He's so true. So true.
You are in the correct place. So, me and this Derailious guy, we've been arguing on Twitter about Skyblock.
We've been beefing. Yeah, it's been on and off, man. We've been.
It's probably
every
been
time I see you in my mentions, I'm like, Jade, I gotta respond to this, bro. Hold on.
It's probably been a solid like 400 days at this point.
Yeah.
I wonder if I can sort on Twitter by our latest.
Oh, there's a lot. I just typed in the word Derailious, and you can just scroll down on your account. Oh my god, you can just scroll. I'm still scrolling, and I'm only on like July. we've been fucking yapping, bro.
I'm gonna get this thing scrolling, but anyways, yeah, we've been beefing. I found, oh yeah, March 4th, my first ever reply to you. You said,
Yeah.
guys, I don't understand Blaze Slayer, and I want to learn.
Yeah, you sent me
video.
Yeah, you made that. That was actually really helpful. Jokes aside, it made it way easier for me.
Before the beef. That was before the beef. Oh yeah, we started talking about handle RNG meter about 2 months later.
That's true.
That could be our first topic, RNG meters.
Oh,
okay.
Oh god. Okay.
So
okay.
my first claim today is that RNG meters are they're just so unhealthy for the game, man.
Okay.
Not unhealthy. I don't know if that's the correct word, but they're just unneeded. Like I feel like it's just kind of insulting.
So I think that RNG meters, like, I don't think they're objectively good or bad. Like, for example, a game like Destiny, for example, doesn't have an RNG meter for like raid exotics. You know, you can do the raid 150 times, you cannot drop shit, and then you can do it twice and you can drop it. And I think that's cool. I think in Skyblock specifically, the reason why I think RNG meters are a little more necessary is because some of the items are like effectively required for future progression, you know? Like you'd be hard pressed to do endgame content at all without having first gotten like things like a hype or a terminator or pretty much anything else that the Slayers reward that is actually good. And I think for Slayers specifically, RNG meters are really excellent. I feel like for some other things in the game currently, you know, you could make the argument that they may not be needed. I think the biggest thing where it's like a little 50-50, even in my mind, is something like alloy. I think that that's kind of whatever. I'm not mad that they added it, though, and I think it is going to lead to a set end of the grind for a lot of people. And I think that having that progression path where you're like, all right, my grind will be over at some point, gives people the motivation to keep on working on that grind, which I think is a good thing in games.
Right. So I believe that if you have an RNG meter, it's like saying that we're never gonna have anybody get unlucky ever. I think that nobody should get lucky ever either. I think they should convert all like drop systems into like currencies. So say you kill a rev and you can trade in your XP for a drop.
Yeah. I actually don't hate that conceptually either. Like I really don't. I think there are a lot of games that kind of do that sort of thing, where you're able to trade in rewards that you get over a long period of time into some sort of benefit. I think Fallout 76 is the MMO that I'm playing right now, and it does that a lot, where if you grind out a certain piece of content like over and over again, you'll get drops like treasury nodes or stamps or whatever currency, and you're able to trade those currencies in for, you know, whatever endgame item. And I like it because, once again, you get that sort of feeling of, oh, if I play X amount of hours and I'm this efficient, I am guaranteed to get what I want, which is a good thing. I think, though, for Skyblock, it's a little bit different. That feeling of luck is, like, cool. It's like, you know, when you drop your first G-Horn in Destiny 1, whatever, like 10 years ago. You know, that's cool, getting a nice item. I think the biggest problem I guess I have with the way that drops are structured in Skyblock, at least at the moment, is that almost everything feels financially incentivized rather than like player progression incentivized. Like I'm not excited when I get a Judgment Core or any other drop really in the game because it's just money. It's just a liquid asset, and I just see the numbers behind the item rather than what the item actually does. I think that's a problem more related to Skyblock's progression as a whole. I think that there just isn't enough end game content, like at all. I think that's the big thing they need to work on in the next year or two. But once again, I think that things for now are about as good as they can be until we get to that point.
Okay, honestly, like I'm not entirely disagreeing with you. I just think that going back and reverting previous updates is kind of where we start to disagree.
Yeah,
'Cause,
absolutely.
like, I don't think that they have this established. Here's the nucleus, system, and then
Yeah.
3 years after the fact, we're gonna go back and slap an RNG meter on it because Ironmen are complaining. It's like, and then well, then they make the argument, oh well, it helps everybody get the job, but like,
Yeah.
but if you're not playing an Ironman, then you're playing based off the economy. You shouldn't be running
Yeah.
the nucleus to get your Devon's drill.
Yeah,
So-
I get where you're coming from with that argument, but I think that the way we diverge is more so like from a what I actually think that Skyblock should be trying to do right now in terms of I guess improving the player count, because that's my view. I think the number one focus at Hypixel over the next year should be doing everything possible to get that player count back up, because like let's be honest, it's been low recently.
It's not
and
looking too good.
It's not looking too hot. And I think doing things like that, well, I can absolutely understand like an endgame player's frustration with those things, and I do feel like sorry that those things happen. I, cannot like reconcile that against the potentially thousands of players who will have new avenues to either join the game, get back into the game, or anything else. Because those things are motivators to players, Any item becoming easier to get, it may be a gimme, it may feel bad as an endgame player, but a player who hasn't gotten that item objectively is going to be much more excited about either grinding that thing out or participating in content that they otherwise wouldn't have, or whatever else. And I feel like that is what Hypixel needs right now, rather than placating an endgame community, which frankly is only getting smaller by the day, and also frankly has a ton of cheaters, and that is a problem in and of itself.
That's a whole other topic I have written down. Is
Yeah.
We're gonna get to that.
Yeah, I have opinions on that too, so don't worry.
Jesus, dude. But I mean, like the more that we're talking about it, kind of reasonably like this, what I'm realizing is that our sorry asses are going to play the game no matter what.
Yeah, both of us are in a position where like we both will play the game no matter what. And I think you're playing the game more from like an end game player's perspective. You're the most interested in things that benefit the end game community.
Yeah,
I'm the most interested in the things that benefit, frankly, my YouTube channel and my career. And like that may be a selfish thing to say, but that and also the amount of players playing the game are like tied and like one and the same. So I feel like it's not that unreasonable to say that I represent or am arguing in favor of the interests of the early game and mid game player.
No, I totally agree with that. Like, I honestly, in my brain, I don't see myself as like a YouTuber at all. But then you like, it's actually, I mean, it's kind of insane, somewhat off topic. But you go and look at our like, we're at 29,000 subs. Like,
yeah,
I'm gonna have.
That's why you should hit that subscribe button down below, and I'm gonna send all my viewers over. I'm gonna be like, subscribe, get them to 30K, and then flood their comments with like early game and mid game propaganda.
Oh no, dude, it's already like that. Have you seen the videos we post?
Is it really that bad? I haven't noticed that.
We don't. I mean, I don't know. We upload a lot of money making videos and stuff.
Oh
like that.
yeah, oh yeah, love me some money.
Guys, drop a like for Rift money making method part 14.
Let's go. I love making 70 mil an hour from Sun Gecko.
Real? Wait, is that a thing?
No, it's not true. I lied. I made that up.
I make
you can make 100 mil an hour right now from spamming gifts on each other though. Trust.
What?
Yeah.
I saw like, your line.
There are unironically a ton of gift macros right now. Like a ton of them.
Speaking of spamming gifts,
yeah.
Guys, I'm putting you on a game right now. Go get your Tomes of Learning from the winter event. When Hunter comes out, you're gonna save those Tomes of Learning. You're gonna save it till Hunter comes out.
billion XP
You're
on
gonna
day
start
one.
with like 200k XP. I got mine from last year as well, dude. I've been cooking this plan for years. I'm just putting you on this year because I'll still have a head start.
I'm gonna make a video on it, and then I'm gonna steal that viewership that you just you just said. I'm be like, guys, this is my original idea. I thought this up.
Honestly, like knowing Hypixel is probably it's probably not even gonna work on Hunter when it like they're just
No,
not
it
gonna
probably
be in
won't.
there. But
I actually hope it doesn't. Jokes
yeah,
aside, because
that
then
would be kinda
everyone's like on
stupid.
a even playing field. Because we haven't seen a new skill in like multiple years, which is I don't know. I'm excited
What
about
even
that. I
was
think
the
that's
last
pretty
one?
cool. Last one was
Social? That doesn't really count though.
social. No, that doesn't count. And then before that, it was what
Carpentry.
rune crafting, which both don't count.
Well, carpentry wasn't original. Actually, they like kind of silently made carpentry a non-cosmetic skill whenever it was originally, and it like gives you coins and Skyblock XP,
Yeah.
which I think is kind of strange. Maybe it'll have use in the future, but like it's kind of just at this point, it's like they would just need to make a new skill because everybody
Yeah.
has 50. You can get that in 5 seconds.
It's definitely gonna be an interesting thing there for sure. I don't know if they're ever gonna do anything with carpentry. I feel like it's gonna be one of those, we'll tackle it in 1.0 and then
Yeah.
1.0 will drop and then it'll be a 1.1, tackle item.
Yeah, I know what you mean. They got a lot of that stuff to deal with. I feel
Mhm.
like I want to be optimistic for this game so bad. There's so many
Yeah.
things that they can do, but it's just like it gets harder every day.
I think the mountaintop definitely made me a little more optimistic than I was before. I was worried that it was gonna drop and it was gonna be a complete dud. And I think that they definitely dropped the ball when it came to like story stuff. But man, Sun Gecko is great. I
Yeah.
love that.
I watched the
love
video you just posted. I genuinely, I don't think I disagreed with anything in it.
I thought it was really, I thought the Rift was really well put together. I think that they did a great job on a lot of the mountaintop features. And I think that the actual gameplay part of it was great. I think if they just are able to take that and then turn it into more replayable stuff for foraging, we're going to have a really good update on our hands. And I imagine foraging will obviously be much bigger. From my understanding, they had to crunch like crazy to get the mountaintop out. And I heard that from a few Nerds members and stuff
Really?
like that. Yeah.
I hadn't heard anything about it prior to it coming out. It just I woke up one day and everybody was in a VC screen sharing Rift. I was like, oh, I wonder what happened.
Yeah, I wonder what's going on. From my understanding, they put it together in like a few months, and it was
That mini
apparently,
clone guy.
yeah, that mini clone guy, man.
No, yeah, no, I was super happy with the mountaintop. I think the Rift is probably the strongest piece of content that Skyblock has from like a general player
Absolutely agree
base.
with that. Yeah.
I played through the Rift probably 4 or 5 times now. Like I have an ungodly amount of time in that dimension. Um,
It's crazy.
it's just solid. Like but also they can't do only the Rift because it's a
Yes,
very
I
short
agree
life.
with you there.
There needs to be repeatable content. I honestly thought the Sun Gecko was the strongest part of the new update. I wish it had
Yep.
like a little bit more
I agree
stuff
with
to
you.
do
I think
with
that
it.
they should have added more to it. It would have been cool if you could like, I don't know. My thought process with it was like, why not make it like almost like a mini game where you and other people like simultaneously sign up for it at once and you try to like fight them for as long as possible while it gets harder and harder or whatever.
Gamble modes on it. Wait, true.
Yeah.
You want to play
That's
Splitter
actually
Steel?
wait. Oh my god, wait. I gotta play Splitter Steel with you. Hold on.
You on Hypixel right now?
Yes, I am.
Derailious.
And I got my Rift Prism before the update, so
Oh,
I didn't
shit.
spend like 2 billion coins on it. So I'm actually chilling right now.
You got your Rift Person before I did.
Yeah. Well, I've challenged you.
Right.
Oh, you play dirty. All right, we're
Oh,
just
but you're
gonna
doing it too, though.
the whole time, I guess, buddy. Okay, let's both after this one, let's both split.
Okay.
Oh, you're one of those. You're one of those. You know what? We're both walking away with like nothing. See? Only 9K modes.
9K
Come on,
modes.
think
Look
about it.
what-
If we
look
worked
what you did
together,
to
we would have
me.
made so much. Would have made so much
Here,
money.
come here. We can make more. Where are you at?
Hold on. Can we both? No, I don't think we can both do it.
Oh, can we not?
Yeah, it's once every 2 hours. Come on, you're like the Endgame guy, and you don't know
I've
how
never
like
played
Rift
Splitter
stuff.
Steel. I just remembered that it exists. Yeah, I have to wait an hour.
Yeah,
You're
every
actually my first.
few hours on that. I will say this is my least favorite part
Dude,
right
I
here.
almost shed a tear doing this thing.
I did shed a tear or two. I was very mad. I was hitting my monitor and shit. I was not happy. I
But I
was
still
not a happy
loved it.
camper.
I'm very happy. Like, now that I'm done with it and I actually did it, I'm very happy with it.
Yeah.
And I hope they add more like difficult parkour.
I hope they don't, and I did it legit, and I didn't do the stupid flying thing that was
When
there
you can
for
fly?
a day.
What?
There was a bug day one where you could like do the Wizard Man brawl, and then you would be flying around, and everyone just cheated and got it. And I did that, and that came out like after I had finished it. I spent like an hour on the damn thing. And I was like, come on, that's like not fair to me, I think.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I took a deep breath after, and I remembered your argument about the Golden Dragon stuff, and I was like, it's okay. It's not a big deal.
Wait, you were starting to understand. He was starting to get indoctrinated by my ideologies.
I was getting indoctrinated a little bit, but I had to think about it, and I was like, all right, it's gonna be okay. Everything's fine.
I remember I stepped into that. I started flying in the Superman room, the Wizard Man room, and I was like, "This is gonna cause problems."
This is gonna be an issue. People are gonna be flying around like crazy, and sure enough, they were. It's a little nuts. I won't even lie. I just got my IQ point. Did you get your IQ points already?
Oh, I just warped in and out.
Yeah, you just gotta warp in and out and do it over and over again.
Okay. Anyways, continuing on the worst podcast ever, where like half of it is visual based.
So true.
We're playing Splitter Steel. I really hate the word podcast, by the way. I don't want to call it that. I gotta come up with something else.
The
so, like,
Skycast.
The sky, but like I just like cast, and it's just so like.
Yeah.
Like crypto bro coded.
It is a little crypto bro coded. Are you gonna try to sell me like a cryptocurrency here? Are we selling that to people?
You seen who I'm in a guild with?
Oh yeah, I'm selling Railcoin right now.
I'm selling.
You gotta get me in that guild, man. I feel like I'm endgame enough. Get me in. What? I'm assuming it's Burger King, right?
Deathstreaks is like a dictator, so you gotta be friends with him, or you're not getting.
Don't worry, I'll become best friends. I'll be like, guys, don't worry. I'll promote you on Skyblock News. Trust.
Get Deathstreaks on that. Let him run an episode.
Yeah, of course.
Anyway, okay. Let me look at my list. What were we talking about? We were talking about RNG meters. We started talking about Sun Gecko. I actually had the flower pot parkour written down because I thought it was awesome.
I did not like it.
I hated it, but I thought it was awesome. I like difficult content, and it's not ping based, so people can't complain. Oh, I hear ping. No, you just suck.
Ping. Yeah.
And I also had the lore written down. I think it's kind of cool that they're like trying to have lore, but also like I completely agree with what you said in your video where you're like it just kind of ended it. Didn't really. There was no big conclusion. They're just like, oh wow, you closed the rift.
Yeah, I thought that was so anticlimactic. I also think they forgot like. In the first part of the rift, they implied that like the necklace was like very, very important and necessary in order to close the breach. And they just dropped that plot point entirely, which like I don't care about because I'm not a big lore guy. But like the 3 people who actually care about the lore for the game, I know they're very upset. So,
you think they got like a dedicated guy, or do they all just kind of wing it?
I think they wing it, honestly, and that's like fine. You can absolutely like wing, story-based content. That's what we did on Monumenta for a few years. We just, winged it for the vast majority of the stuff we made. So yeah, I mean, it's just I don't know. That's just how Skyblock is. They tend to wing their content, and more often than not, it comes out good. But yeah. I think the lore here was definitely not that great.
I don't think anybody's like gonna be quitting Skyblock over the lore not being good anyway. That's not what we're here for.
Absolutely not.
So I also wanted to talk about trophy fishing. Because we haven't really been able to verbalize this. It's been a lot of typing over Twitter, and I hate typing over Twitter, dude. I hate typing.
Typing over Twitter sucks.
I can't get all my emotions out. I can't use
tone in my voice. Hatred out right there.
I can't let you hear the pure hatred in my voice.
Oh yeah, just cannot.
Anyways,
yeah, so, we can verbalize it. Yeah,
and also like nobody follows us on. It's literally it's just us yelling at each other. We maybe get like 3 likes. It's like nobody knows about this. So this
it's like both the two idiots on Twitter fighting over like literally nothing. Like we get a total of 7 views on each tweet. It's great.
So this is like a fresh topic for probably everyone listening.
Yeah.
I think that it is incredibly stupid that they just straight out cut the numbers of trophy fishing. Like they made it so it's 1 in 600 for the pity, and they doubled the chance of vanilla, whatever, to karate. I think it's disrespectful, and I think it's just a stupid way to go about it. It kind of is just like, hey guys, this has been in the game for 3 years, and instead of making it faster via stuff like the Diamond Essence shop, which increases your chance for diamond fish, we're just gonna go into the back and we're going to cut the number in half and say, oh, sucks to suck. Should have waited 3 years to do it.
I disagree quite a bit on that point. I think that the way that they did it was probably the best. I think I didn't really cover this in the Twitter beef that we were having over it, but I think one of the biggest problems, at least I have with Skyblock right now, is I think things are becoming too complex in terms of bloat. And what I mean by that is look at literally any item in the game. Look at all of our armor, look at our pets, look at our stats, look at our everything. I think there's just too much. Not even from like a game being hard perspective, because it's not very hard to get a lot of good stats and to get good or whatever. It's that just the amount of content that a person would need to learn about is just kind of a lot at the moment. So I don't think a solution to making something like trophy fishing faster should have involved either a new shop or more upgrades or further improvements to XYZ or a new addition. I think the best way that you resolve an issue like that, which is it just took too long for most people, is that you have to cut those numbers. And I do think that it is wrong that they did not do good enough testing the first time around in order to make the content take a reasonable amount of time for a reasonable person to complete. I completely agree with you there. That is not right of them to do. But the alternative is to do nothing. And I think that that's worse because what that does is it creates an exponentially larger group of players over time who still have to suffer through it all, who still have to deal with all of the annoyances of the old system, and doesn't allow them to experience potential benefits because otherwise a slightly smaller group of people will be upset. And I think it's more worthwhile. This goes back into that argument of like whether it's good to prioritize like new players or whatever. I believe that you do anything to prioritize existing and new players who are earlier in the game's lifespan rather than prioritize that smaller group of endgame players. Um, I think the way that you satiate endgame players, frankly, is by giving them new content. You have to make more endgame content. I really do agree with that. I think there should have been another dungeon out years ago, whether that be in the form of a roguelike or anything else. I think that should have happened years ago. I think there should have been more bosses years ago. I think that's the biggest problem facing the endgame community is that there just isn't enough to do.
True. I don't think bloat is necessary. I mean, with like enchants, sure, bloat like in like what the hell is like in gems, like stuff that's applied here. I guess I'm kind of like I'm metronoming on that, where I'm like, wait, I agree with you and I don't. I think like I don't have an issue with perk shops. I think perk
Yeah.
shops are fine because they're kind of just like little. It's like, oh, find a little dude. He's in an island, and then he gives you perks. It's not like adding, but like when you look at if you look at a piece of armor from 2019 compared to a piece of armor now, and it's like you have no idea what the hell is going on.
Mhm.
I don't know. I just think let me collect my thoughts.
I'm so big brain. I'm making this man sit and collect his thoughts.
I gotta
It's
collect my
crazy.
thoughts. You're hitting me with very long sentences. I gotta think about what I'm gonna say. I gotta intake
Sorry,
it
I'm
all.
a big yapper.
No, it's good. It's good. I just um okay, yeah, here what I was gonna say earlier was I don't think that you said that trophy fishing it takes an unreasonable amount of time. I don't
Yes.
think it does. I think that's completely arbitrary. Because
I mean, of course.
you could argue that it's unreasonable right now, but I could argue that it's unreasonable at 10 hours to complete. Like
Sure.
I don't think that that's like a valid argument. Whenever people, I mean, it had
I
probably
think.
probably at least 2,000 people have completed it. Like
Mhm.
I'm sure like
So
I worked a 12-hour shift yesterday, dude. I'm not unemployed. Like
yeah,
and I'm managing fine. Like
I think that the difference in that arbitrariness comes in what the general community thinks, like at large. Me and you individually, our opinions mean nothing. Like, who cares? What I say or what you say about any specific number. But I think when it comes to the large, like consensus, do the majority believe that it is good or bad in the state that it was? And I think if you look at the reception to that update at large, it was very, very positive, almost exclusively positive. Even by some endgame players. A lot of endgame players came out in support of it as well. And I think that that shows that prior to the update, it was definitely unreasonable. Maybe not for you or me individually, but for the community at large, and that's why I believe it should have been changed.
okay, I might have to cut this out because it could be interpreted the wrong way. But is that same mindset not how you get to racism?
um,
Like
I,
oh
I guess if I guess if you're like thinking of it as like a tyranny of the majority type of thing, but I'm not gonna like I guess my speculation there goes more into the sense of like Skyblock is very much not a political like system. Don't get me wrong. I have my issues with tyranny of the majority for a political system as a whole. But when it comes to a video game, which is an optional thing that people control the player count of by, investing their time, it's in the best interest of the player base to do the things that benefit the majority the most. Or else people will stop playing and then the money dries up and then now you don't have a game anymore. So I do get your point, but I think that comparing a political system to a video game in that way is a little bit, it doesn't really provide the best one-to-one comparisons, I guess.
Okay, fair point. I just that was kind of brewing in my head. I was like,
yeah, no, I agree. It took me a minute to try to respond to that, but I don't think you were wrong for making a suggestion there that is similar. And like obviously tyranny of the majority is bad when it comes to like political systems. You don't want 51% of the people telling the 49 everything they can and cannot do. But I think when you're looking at it like, from that perspective, it's a little bit different.
okay. Now, your other argument is that there needs to be, like, we're going back to RNG meters. It's like it needs to be for things that are like, there are things that are important for progression, like almost crucial for progression. Like you need to get a hype, you need to whatever. Like the getting Diamond Trophy Hunter does nothing for you, dude. That thing
No,
is...
I agree. I agree with you there. It doesn't do anything for you. However, it is in the game. It gives you quite a bit of Skyblock XP, a significant amount, 10 levels or so worth. It gives you the completion aspect of it. And if they're going to emphasize Skyblock XP as being such an important part of the game, they have to consider that now they're making a lot of the different parts of the game that otherwise wouldn't be important. For example, if Skyblock XP didn't exist, I would be right with you. I'd be like, there's no need for them to add it because frankly, I wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't. I would pay with my time. I wouldn't participate. I think that Skyblock XP has really, I think it was bad for the game. I think that they expanded it to way too much stuff. They're trying to put every feature behind an XP number. And I think that it's creating a situation in which players are being forced to play content that they otherwise wouldn't. And it is objectively affecting the design of that content. We wouldn't be having this argument at all if if Skyblock XP didn't exist. There wouldn't be an RNG meter behind something like an alloy if you didn't need to put it in your museum and you'd get 25 XP for it. Players would be content not getting everything. I much prefer the design of Skyblock in 2019 and 2020 when players weren't required to get literally everything in order to be considered maxed by this just number, that's next to your profile.
Shit, dude, you're kind of winning my heart. I don't know if I don't know if I can disagree with you anymore. I'm the biggest Skyblock XP hater ever.
Yeah, I despise it. I think that the way they implemented it, the rollout was terrible. I think that the whole system is just, it's awful. Because not only does it create really terrible elitism, not only does it create situations where players are toxic to each other for no reason, it emphasizes that if anything, but it also forces players to do things that they just don't want to do. Like, why should I be forced to do XYZ to get a level number up? That is, like, ridiculous to me. And especially if it's not related directly to my, like, skills, And
I think me on Twitter would have been arguing that Skyblock levels are, like, not a requirement, but
like, let's be real here.
Yeah, like...
They're not a requirement,
it's
but
like
they're a social requirement.
Yeah. Like, Kata experience isn't a requirement for dungeons, but, like...
Are you gonna let a 24 guy in your M7 party, or if you could,
Yeah, so... Dude, you might be rolling me in this debate. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm cooking, man. You saw me cook Squid that one time. You saw that debate with Squid.
Yes, I remember that.
Oh man, you
Squid's
don't want
an idiot.
No one wants to...
Like I'm an idiot as well, but Squid's like an idiot.
I love Squid though. He's cool.
I love Squid. Squid's the man.
He's my homie.
I'm gonna get him on here at some point if this makes it past episode 1.
Dude, you should. That'd be so entertaining.
Dude, it's just sometimes it's really annoying to talk to him about anything because he cannot stop trolling. He is 100%
D1
committed
troller
to the bit.
Yeah,
you can't get a serious take out of him.
Dude, I swear, with the mini games that you guys did, and when he was selling stuff on the auction house to try to win, that was
Oh
so
my
funny.
god, dude.
Bro
That
was actually trying it.
that's so sad that that'll never see the light of day. I spent
Yeah,
probably I spent an absurd amount of time going through that footage and cutting it. I had like the whole first part of it, like the first mini game done.
yeah.
Dude, oh, it just wasn't I couldn't get it to a state where I was happy with it. Um
Mm,
and for the people that don't know, I gotta throw that, for the people that don't know what I'm talking about.
yeah.
A couple months ago, I got Derailious, Squid, Zach, Ari the Monkey, shit, Future 77, and Zenergy and Yachty. I think that was it. I hope I'm not
Yeah,
forgetting someone. That would be
yeah.
really
That was, I
embarrassing.
think, everybody.
I got them all together at the same time, and we did like a Mr. Beast video almost. We did like
It would
a
have popped off too.
It
It
would
would
have
have
done
done crazy
so well,
numbers.
but so we it was like a 3 hour recording. One person got eliminated with each game, and there was a ton of thought that went into it. Like me and Pat had a whole like we still have the server with all the stuff prepped in it, like all the little notes that we had taken. Um, we got the perspectives from everybody, and I was trying to edit it, and I didn't have it in me. I could not put it into a form where I'd be happy with it coming out. So it's just
Yeah, it's very hard to make content that involves like a lot of different perspectives.
yeah.
It's just rough.
So I'm pretty sure that's lost media now.
Good night. I don't know. The Pat games
Pat
is what we'll
games,
call them.
yeah, that's what they were
Pat
called.
games.
Um,
Yeah, that was a crazy situation. Regardless, though, I do think that, despite the damage that like Skyblock XP has done, I'm like personally fine with them making things like trophy fishing and stuff just take significantly less time because I don't know. I personally just believe that Skyblock should be a game that like theoretically is completable in a relatively reasonable amount of time. Once again, I'm using that definition of like general community consensus of reasonable. And I think for certain things it's like already there. Like for example, getting cat of 50, not bad at all. I don't think that that's like, and I'm not there at all yet. And I think that that's a relatively reasonable amount of time for the effort that you're putting in, you know?
yeah, I 100%
Um,
agree.
and I think that it's just really coming down to the admins want to keep everyone held over until something like the foraging update drops. That's why they did things like unsoulbind all of the Kudra armor sets because that gives people a chase to go to for now
Dude,
while they work on.
if that fucking update comes out and it takes like 2 days to max, oh my
I
god.
don't think it will.
I don't think it
And
will. It
I don't
better
think so.
it better be like
Well,
a
listen,
thousand
I
hours
think
of content.
if you're already foraging 60 or equivalent or 50 or whatever, don't be shocked when you go to the foraging update and you're already maxed out and you're already able to do pretty much everything. Well, meanwhile, me and everybody else who's sitting around at like foraging 24, we're going to be having a banging time for a few weeks. I don't know. I think it's really the situation where sometimes endgame players create their own problems by like overdoing it. I think that would be one of the situations where like maybe not objectively overdoing it, but in a way you're kind of you're doing worse content now, which means that you'll have less fun with the better content later. So even though you are further ahead than me in the game, in a way, I don't envy you because I feel like when that update drops, I will have a better
You're
time
gonna
going
have
through
so
the
much more fun.
experience. Yeah,
I
I'm gonna have way more
I
fun.
I'm really I'm trying my hardest to disagree with you, but like I'm struggling right now.
Shockingly, off of Twitter, people are reasonable. It's crazy. It's
That app is
crazy.
a cancer, dude. I need to delete it.
No, but no, don't delete it. Who am I gonna argue with about stupid shit?
You're right. Sometimes I'll close Twitter just to open Twitter, refresh my
Yeah.
page. I just get on there and I get angry. I
Yeah, I
send out
get angry at
tweets.
people. I log on. I write a few angry tweets. I log off. I have them all in my drafts. I have hundreds of them.
Oh, jeez. I do not draft anything. I let everything out. Actually, no, that's not true. I have that other account. That's where I kind of let out my
You let out your inner
yeah.
frustrations.
You know what account that is?
No, I have no idea.
Okay, I'm not gonna tell you. You'll probably figure it out one day.
True, true.
Um, but what I think I think this would like what I think Endgame needs, and this could hold people over for years. And this is coming from I'm a RuneScape player now. Like honestly, like I identify myself as a RuneScape player more than a Skyblock player currently.
Yeah.
We need a collection log. We need
Interesting.
we need a little book or a little GUI that has every mob or every monster, every boss, every game, like every little mini game in the game,
Mhm.
and it marks if you've collected or dropped an item for yourself.
See, that'd be cool. I think a compendium of sorts like that would be really nice.
And you can
Yeah,
throw one Skyblock XP on each item if you want. Like you can make it a
sure,
bestiary.
whatever.
Like
Might as well,
so
yeah.
there's motivation to complete it. Like
Mhm.
that would help people. It would make them revisit every piece of content. Like I shouldn't be retroactive progress at all. Like everybody would be going back to do Rev Slayer and Terra Slayer to get all their drops.
Yeah.
Um, that would hold people over for forever. You go into dungeons, you got to get every single drop. You got to get
See,
every
and,
scroll.
and we, I think that where we disagree on that is that I think that would be really cool. Don't get me wrong. I think the biggest thing we need is just a piece of endgame content that is difficult but not gear dependent in the slightest. Like we need a genuine roguelike to be built into Skyblock somehow. Like I really like roguelikes. I think that they can do a lot of positive, things for a game. When I worked on Monumenta, like the vast majority of my time there was working on the game's first and then second roguelike content. And it worked so well for holding people over for an extremely long time. And you can include benefits that like allow players to take stuff out, whether that be in the form of like upgrades to items and things like that. But I really think Skyblock needs more end game content that is either gear dependent to a degree or isn't at all, where anyone can theoretically hop in, but the best players are the people who are most skilled at the content.
I completely agree with that. I'm gonna bring up RuneScape a lot. That's just a common theme because it's like a very
Yeah,
easy
same with Monument though.
it's a very easy comparison.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
I spent over 300 hours doing a boss on there. It's called the Corrupted Gauntlet, and you go in, and the only thing that you really need to have is stats, because it'll clear your inventory, it'll take all your armor off, and half of the boss is going through like a preparation phase and making your own armor and weapons, and then the other half is fighting the actual boss. And so you can go in there, say you lose your entire account, but you still have all your stats. You can go in there and do the boss, and what you get out of it is like a really good bow, right? Like they could do something like that in Skyblock. You go in, it
Oh
clears
yeah.
your inventory.
The best comparison I can think of from Monumenta, and this will be a little bit closer to something that they could do in Skyblock, is like the stuff that I worked on also, which were called strikes, kind of based off of Destiny strikes almost, where you'd go in with a little team, you'd fight this boss. You could take in your gear, but things would be kind of normalized to a degree. And you'd be able to, once you beat the boss, you'd get some loot that you'd be able to take outside and use in other content or whatever. And they had their own upgrader system. Hold on, let me see if I can find a video of what I'm talking about. Sure, I can send a speedrun video to you. There we go. So this is the content that I worked on. I built a lot of the city that's shown in this footage, and you can see that there's a lot of player expression of skill
Oh
that
shit,
you're
that
able
looks
to
so
utilize.
cool.
Yeah, that is what we built pretty much. There's a lot of player skill expression. They're blipping around, going insanely quick.
Oh, and he knows
Um,
where he's. Well, yeah, no, this is actually dope.
yeah, so I built that city, like pretty much all of those buildings. Yeah,
Aurelius
and
built this city from the ground up.
built that city from the ground up. Not really. I had like a bunch of help on that, but it was really cool to be able to create like a layout system like that. And I just think something like that is really what Skyblock needs, man. Because if players could spend hundreds of hours trying to figure out something like that, where they're just learning paths and trying to find the best route to get the daily loot or whatever, or just grind it out, they'd go crazy over it. It'd be like another F7 situation.
I
you know?
mean, this looks to me like open open scenery dungeons getting
Yeah,
secrets.
yeah.
Like
That's generally what it was, pretty much.
it's just getting like I don't know how like how in touch you are with like the super late game dungeons community and like clearing and how like honestly the clear is the best part of the dungeon.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's basically doing what I'm watching in this video where he's just
Yeah,
jumping around.
yeah.
You
From
know
my understanding,
exactly
it is
where he's
very
going.
similar. I just think that we need more of it, and I think that the way they set up their randomizer to like make the rooms random is cool. But you can have just as cool of a situation with like stagnant area, as long as the area is big enough and as long as the enemies are varied enough. You're able to do just the same. And for example, I think something like Hype kind of ruins being able to move around in Skyblock. I think it really sucks from that perspective in certain pieces of content, because being able to just fly, I don't know, kind of ruins the author's intent, I guess, when it
Yeah.
comes to, I don't know, just any sort of content.
That's why
Which is why,
the floor 7 boss is so special, because it's like
yeah,
you have to
you
learn
can't just fly
Bonzo
around.
and Jerry Sheen Gun movement. That doesn't exist anywhere else in the game.
Yeah, I really wish that if they ever do another dungeon, please don't allow us to hype fly at all anywhere, because that sucks. I
Like
hate it. I really dislike that.
Bonzo movement is honestly like it's pretty
So
good. It's
cool.
pretty cool. It's like it's good. It's very nice player expression.
The
Um
one thing I'm praying for, man, if we ever move to 1.20, if you're seeing the video, you can see that they're using like a crossbow to like shoot themselves up in the air. That is something I pray that we get. Like, I love the idea of being able to take a crossbow in Minecraft and just like right click it and you get like a few blocks of height out of it to like get a little jump off. It's so sick.
Dude, I would kill for something like this in Skyblock. I'm gonna be throwing this up on the screen. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, you can play it right now theoretically
is it
because I
still
think
up?
there's yeah, server's still up. It's not as like 100 players on average. It's just in 1.20. They do way crazier stuff than this. They have their own raid now. Um, this is like the relatively easy content in comparison. So yeah,
I legitimately might check that out. I would.
it's fun. It's interesting. I worked there for a few years, and I think I learned a lot about game design there in terms of like how to develop like an area of any sort and make something look good and make it play well. And I think Skyblock does a good job for the most part, especially like Dungeons did a great job. I have certain problems with the floor 7 experience right now. I think cheaters are the biggest issue for me personally. I just can't stomach it. I hate how bad it is. And I think that also certain aspects of the boss are just not great. I think terminals suck. I really hate terminals.
Mm,
Um,
I think that's a similar situation to secrets, where like once you get to like super like sweaty terminals,
it's
like sub
it's not a
50
matter of
terminals,
like
sub 40
sweatiness.
terminals, it
I just
gets
think from a game design perspective, I think they just suck. I think that the fact that they're not zero ping is incredibly dumb.
true.
I think I mentioned this in the Rift video that I did on the review. I don't like it when I open a GUI and there's a mini game in there. I think that's so dumb. It's so gimmicky. I would much prefer if it was like shoot a bunch of levers or hit a bunch of targets in X amount of time
You
or
like the
anything.
devices?
Yeah. Yeah, like if it was all devices, I wouldn't care. I would think terminals were sick. I don't like the way it's set up right now because it's basically begging to be cheated with. Like it's basically begging for the player to install something that allows them to automatically do it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and it also does kind of rely on solvers, regardless of if you're cheating or not.
Exactly. I'm not like when I go in there, I'm not thinking at all. I'm pressing whatever my solver is telling me to press, and I don't want to do that. That's stupid.
Yeah. Wait, one
You know,
second.
I don't know. It's,
Okay, I thought I heard my name getting yelled at. Apparently, I made it up. Um, yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it's very hard to disagree with you whenever we're having an actual conversation and not like yelling at each other
Twitter
over
beefing.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Um,
You know what? That's fine. We can come out of this argument and we can be like, oh my god, we're best buds now. We agree on everything. We don't disagree in the
exactly.
slightest. I don't know. I
Um,
still think there are things we obviously disagree on. It's just
oh
a
yeah,
matter of like, I don't know.
but it's
We
not as
both
like
want what's best for the game in the future, and it's kind of hard to argue in a negative way towards someone when you know they also want what's best for the game in the future.
yeah. This is a healthy debate.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts on Hunter? Like, what are you hoping for with that skill? Are you hoping it's
Hunting,
gonna be yeah?
I hope it's not something that's just done in a few hours, and I pray to God if they put Skyblock XP behind like any part of it, I'm gonna lose my mind. Like just
What
make it. Oh, I don't
what
like Skyblock
behind a
XP.
new skill? Of course,
Like
it's gonna have
not
XP
behind
on
the
it.
levels of the skill. I don't care about that.
Oh,
If
you
they
mean
put
like Hunter
like
Beastiary or
collecting
whatever?
each attribute or whatever,
Oh,
that'd be
okay,
stupid.
okay.
Like I don't know. I always found that kind of dumb. I hope that it's a good route for player expression. I hope some of them are genuinely hard to get. Um, I'm a little worried though about that because so many of them are going to be players are going to have them immediately because they have chests full of Kudra gear. By the way, collect chests of crappy Kudra gear because you'll be able to turn those attributes into the new attributes with the system. I just worry it's going to be more stat bloat.
Hmm.
And I worry that they're going to be way too easy to obtain. Everyone's going to have all of them within like a week or two or whatever. and then no one's ever going to touch hunting again. And there's going to be no like money making methods with it. There's going to be no long term future for it. If they don't do that though, if there's hard ones to get, if they keep adding more, then I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be a good and fun new system for sure.
So much potential, dude. We need new skills. I unless they actually do something smart with it and it's like 100 hours to max, which I'm praying it is, obviously.
I'm praying too. I actually want it to be like that.
I intend on not sleeping until that skill is max. If it follows the same pattern that the recent updates have. But honestly, after the mountaintop, I'm kind of starting to believe in them a little bit, that it's not going to be like a 10-hour skill or a 20-hour
They're giving me hope, man.
I know.
When I was speaking to the nerds who were talking about like, how long do they think until foraging drops? They implied that it would be another month, which they made it sound like another month would be a long wait. I heard that and I was like, holy shit, it's actually happening.
I don't think from the people that I don't think they know anything.
Yeah, they don't know anything directly, but they do have a lot more admin insight than we do, and they did apparently understand that the admins were crunching to get this update out, Mountaintop, before the end of the year. They wanted another, major piece of content to push.
2024 is gonna be the content year, guys. Last year was the filler one.
I can't wait till they drop. What was that thread they were talking about earlier in the week? I'm dying to make a video on this too. They were gonna make a video or a thread rather, where they were just like, "Oh, we're gonna talk about everything that we've done in 2024 and let's look forward to 2025." They better have a release date for Mountaintop or not Mountaintop, Foraging in there before I lose my mind. I know they won't though. It'll be early.
They don't.
They're gonna say early 2025, and we're gonna be sitting here in December 2025. Like, don't worry, guys. 2026 is the year for Skyblock content. I'm gonna be an old ass man.
We were having the same conversation a year ago.
It's true.
A full 365 days ago, we were talking about the same thing. Like, I just have no reason to believe that it's coming out anytime soon, so I don't bother myself with it. I just play RuneScape and I have a great day.
I'm perpetually coping.
If you're listening to this, play RuneScape. It'll make your life
If you're
better.
listening to this, don't play RuneScape. Play like Fallout 76 or something.
That is such an awful idea. You play a
It's a
game that's
great
been around
game.
for 20 years and it just hit peak player count of all time, by the way, like last week.
How many people? Why are people actually playing that? Maybe I become a RuneScape. Maybe I'll make RuneScape news and get like 10 billion views.
It hit like 250K concurrent last week, and it's like peak of all time.
Good. I'm about to log on for that. I swear. I gotta get that news video out.
I genuinely believe that any Skyblock player that is like probably past level 2 or 300 would probably get 3 times as addicted to RuneScape. It's everything that you like about Skyblock. But it's dude, the game's been out for 20 years. I think the most damage I've ever dealt in one hit is like 70. It has like 0 bloat. The power creep is non-existent.
Like I think I gotta ask every once in a while, like if you were admin for a day, what's one thing you would do? If I was admin for a day, 3/4 of the enchantments would be gone. Gemstones as upgrades to items will be gone. The power scroll system that you can add like scrolls to all the items, gone. I would remove half of the other like upgrades. Hot potato books, gone. The fuming's gone. Most of those items would completely disappear. I can't stand it. I hate the way they have that system set up right now. It's so stupid. The fact that you have to like put 370 enchants and upgrades on an item for it to be usable, absurd.
I mean, like they had to dedicate an entire major update to making a system that like centralized all of the garbage stuff you have to apply to your weapon.
It's
like
so ridiculous.
26 sword enchants. 26 of them. 15
like
fuming potato.
Cubism, just increase our damage overall against those mobs by 50% and remove the enchant. Like, why does it still exist? Or just drop their health. Yeah. Like, what are we doing? Like, just why? Like, just drop their health by 50%, remove the enchant. Who cares? I don't want to get Cubism 7. Who cares? Like, actually, I never understood that. I need to get Ender Slayer 7 on my sword. Like, these are words dreamed up by the utterly deranged. Like, why does this need to exist?
Oh, you made I actually finally got around to sorry, I'm kind of switching topics, but I finally got around to watching your video, like 5 things a Skyblock needs. I had never thought about it. Ender Artifact being in the Dark Auction is possibly
so stupid.
the stupidest game design choice like, ever.
So dumb. That item being in there is ridiculous to me. Like, what? You're telling it should be you should be able to craft it relatively early on at like Ender Slayer 3 or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
why is it in the dark auction? Like, what? I don't get it. I don't know, man. It's so silly. Some of the design decisions over the last like 3 years. You know, me and you need to become admins, and then we'll fix it. We'll fix the game.
They could give me admin for probably 10 minutes, and I would have at least 20 people banned.
They could give me admin for 10 minutes, and I'd listen. My way of banning people: if you have more than 50 M7 completions, you're gone, buddy. I'm sorry. You've got to go. You've got to go. We're doing you a favor. We're doing you a little bit of a favor.
I can't even disagree with that. I'm not even kidding. I have a notepad on my desktop right now. Anytime anybody cheats, I see anybody cheating in party, I write their name down on that notepad. One day.
Oh, you got like the death note, bro.
I got the
You gotta
death
send
note,
that to
dude.
the admins.
I'm clocking that in one day. I'm gonna send it in as a bounty. Here's your list. Go spectate all these players.
Literally though, they should actually have like spectate bounties where you're able to sit there and you're able to look at other people's gameplay. If you get it right, you get like 5 million coins or
Yeah,
something.
they add Atlas. That would be
Yeah.
so awesome.
That'd be sick. Get like a talisman that upgrades for every person that you catch.
That would be so bad.
Actually, we'll make it just pure coins. That way the Ironman players get a money making method that's actually
Dude.
useful.
Do you want to talk about Ironman? Do you want to talk about how?
Listen, I have feelings about Ironman. I simultaneously think it's cool and also the worst thing that they ever added to the game.
It's a very fantastic idea or a very fantastic addition, but it attracted the wrong people.
I think I think that's the biggest problem. I think what happened was YouTubers started doing Iron Man because they ran out of content and like doing a harder challenge was the way to get views at the time. And then tons of people like picked up on it and were like, I can totally do that too. And they just did not have the sauce to actually do that for like a whole Skyblock profile. So now you have like hundreds of people on Iron Man who just play the game in a very miserable, sad state. And they do nothing but complain about like the state of the game being bad for Iron Man players, which like of course it is. It's a challenge game mode. It's
You made the sandwich, dude. You made the sandwich.
My brother in Christ, he made the sandwich exactly. And like I feel bad in a way because like Hypixel pitched it as like a cool way that you could show off that you're better than the other players. And like the game is not built around Iron Man at all. It's not built for it.
I want them
I
to
think they
add
just
a
need to add,
hardcore
like,
Iron Man.
Yeah.
I want them to add hardcore Iron Man, but I know they can't do it because the forums would crash from the amount of posts they would get asking to get their
Dude,
life back.
The absolute salt would be crazy.
I disconnected. Yeah, you did, mother sucker. Connected and you lost your status. Guess what? Oh, God. You know what they need to do? They need to add a way to take away your Iron Man status. Give it you start a process.
like a
it
long
takes
way
like
out, yeah.
say it takes
A
2
week.
weeks. 2 weeks. You hit a button. You say, hey, I don't want to be an Iron Man anymore. You have to go through like 5 confirmation menus, and then it takes like 2 weeks to activate, and then you just lose your status. That would
See, I've been saying the same thing, but I haven't heard a lot of people say this. I think they should do the same thing, but for 2FA. Everyone's been saying, oh, derailious, they could never do 2FA because little children play Skyblock and they're idiots and they will forget their passwords and their 2FA codes and they'll never be able to log in again. And I'm like, why not make it so you can 2FA, right? It prevents ratting because then, you know, if you log in on whatever. And there's a process in which if you want to remove your 2FA, it takes 7 full days. So once you get ratted or whatever, you have a 7-day, you know, time grace period where you can get your profile figured out, you can get your Microsoft account back or whatever, and by the time you're back on, no one's taking your stuff and you're chilling.
I just feel like that would be bad, like back end wise. Like that would just be way too expensive for them to care about.
They
Like,
already have 2FA for YouTubers.
yeah, but that's for like 200 people. Like, okay,
No,
now give
I
it
don't
to
think-
100,000 people.
I think scaling it won't be. I don't mean I don't know the technical. No, I'm not going to pretend to know, but from my understanding, it wouldn't be much worse than because it's done through like Google Authenticator.
Oh, is it? Do you have like
Yeah.
the app on your phone? Is that how you do it?
Yeah. So I don't think that would be scaling wise much for them to handle.
I think bottom line is just don't get hacked. Like it's just not that hard, guys.
Just don't click links, guys. But also, it's like 100% Microsoft's fault for not like clarifying that when you're signing in with your account that you're handing your account over.
I think it
'Cause,
does
like,
clarify though. You
it
can like
doesn't.
hit.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. Okay.
No, when you click it, all it says is that they'll have access to like your profile name, your image or whatever. It doesn't tell them or tell the player that like you're gonna have your entire account information handed over to this guy, you know?
But it's Hypixel Inc. That's okay. It's
Hypixel Inc. wants access to your Microsoft account.
they need it, dude. They're gonna
They need
spawn.
it.
They're gonna spawn a Hyperion on your profile. Just check next time,
So true.
guys. Do click on the links. Do get it twisted. You will get the free Hyperion and you will get the coins.
Trust me. They will give you a 500 mil per hour money making method.
True. And the AH flipping mod. Hey,
So ridiculous.
someone stole my mod folder video and uploaded it and then linked a rat in it. They did it like 10 times and I got like probably 500,000 DMs that day from people asking me why I was ratting or like letting me know.
True.
So
They're like, I don't know if you know this, but you're a ratter.
yeah, I didn't know it, but I did know it whenever I looked at my message requests, and there was probably 17,000 people in there saying that I needed to do something. Dude, what
I don't know how everyone's fallen for this, man.
I'm not sending, like, dude, you know what's crazy? You cannot copyright strike a video without sending them, like, your personal address and...
Yeah, I had to do that too, and that was very rough.
So I just didn't do it. I was like, you know what? If you get ratted by this, sucks to suck, dude. Check the channel.
The channel, man.
I'm not sending this guy my address. I'm sorry.
It's not something that I'm interested in doing. I apologize. Yeah, I think the whole cheating situation in Hypixel as a whole is just such a major problem right now, but also one that's so hard to solve because it's ubiquitous. Everyone it feels like is cheating nowadays.
Well, solution one, give me moderator. I'll ban everybody.
True.
I could have M7 cleaned up in half an hour. Not even kidding.
The real actual solution is moving to 1.20.
That is also a solution. Break the mods, get a better anti-cheat. That's solid. I think they just need to like actually people cheat because they don't get banned. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's
the thing.
I wouldn't be against like a Hypixel official client you need to play on like at some point down the road. But I think
that'd be cool.
But like I don't think mods, like I try to play as vanilla as possible. I keep my screen as clean as possible. I'll use like chat notifiers and like a dungeon map and dungeons, and that's about it. Like I think mods are
not a big cheater over here, guys. He would never cheat.
I
trying to get that YouTube
guys.
rank.
Oh my god, I got a Dwarven O's block brand, 1.8 million coins.
Let's go. I'm gonna buy that off of you.
Okay, I'm gonna list it. Let's see if you get it.
Trust. Dwarven O's metallic minis? No. Block brand. Okay. 1.871.
598. Oh fuck! I hit my cheat button and it warped me to the glitch site.
Oh, your cheat button! You're cheating! Oh my god, he's a cheater, guys.
Guys, I do use chat macros. I'm a macroer.
That's ridiculous that chat macros are technically banned, by the way.
But they are?
Technically, yeah.
I thought they were on Badline.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They're technically bannable.
Interesting.
Yeah. Or at the very least, they're up in the air. They're like a questionable thing. So
I think it's
that's
alright.
very fun. Very, very enjoyable. I really think that at this point, the biggest problem is that there's just such an incentive to utilize cheats, especially in dungeons. Like, the amount of benefit it gives you is absurd. That's part of the reason why I don't like things like terminals. I think it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. See, this is the thing, is I was planning this. I was like, all right, we're gonna go on and have a heated argument. Like, it's gonna be
we're gonna cook each other. It's gonna be terrible. We're gonna get violent.
Yeah, like we're gonna start throwing hands. But like, I'm talking to you, and I'm like, yeah, man, that's very right. I don't have anything to add. Like,
yeah. I don't know. I'll try to spitfire some hot takes I have.
Go ahead.
I think that Beastiary sucks. I think that Hoppity sucks. I think that at least the way the divine system is right now sucks. It's kind of cringe.
No, I fully disagree. I think Hoppity's a good system. I'll explain why later.
Oh wow, you're okay. You can spin on that. I think I'm trying to think about other things that I just think are just not good at all in the game, and I'm like struggling.
I
I don't know. I'm out of topics right there.
Okay, I'll talk
Yeah,
about
just hop.
Hoppity.
Yep.
I think it's a good system because it is not an end game update, but it is an every game update.
Hmm.
Um, Everybody's like, oh, it takes 4,000, 5,000 hours to complete it. You know what else takes 4,000, 5,000 hours to complete? Skyblock levels. It's like perfectly in sync. So if you start a profile right now, by the time that you're max level, you're gonna have pretty much max Hoppity if you're like average luckness. I think that's totally fine. I especially with the new QL they have where you don't have to be like I know like 15H I know is like the that's just what comes to mind. He was pulling like 30-hour sessions like every 5 days
Yeah.
whenever it came
No, I
out.
agree. That was really unhealthy.
Like that was insane. But now with the Hitman, you can sleep for what like 4 hours. Like you can take like a 4 hour break.
9 hours, I think.
Is it
Or is it
9?
4 hours?
It's
I think
every it's
it's
three every.
six per every 20 minutes. Yeah, so it's like a 4 hour break.
I thought it was 3 every 20 minutes.
No, they updated it to six.
No, no,
Wow.
no, no,
See,
no, 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 no. 6 spawn.
yeah.
No, no, no. Sorry, 3 spawn, but they stay for 40 minutes, and they turn into
Oh,
the
okay.
like
Okay, so
the new
six at
eggs.
any given point. Okay, okay, okay.
So it's 3 every 20 minutes, and what? There's 28 of them, so
Hmm.
9 times 21. It's like 3 hours.
Yeah. I think
That's better than 8 minutes.
I just think that the whole system. I feel like just when it starts getting good as like a clicker game, it ends, and then the rest of it is just hunting eggs. And I feel like that's a little silly in my view. I also think that the shop really has nothing that you would long term want to go for, which I don't know. I feel like it's kind of weird that there's nothing in the shop that costs over 50 bill, you know?
Yeah, like I logged in today. It capped out, dude. It said
Yeah.
60 bill total. I didn't know it did that. I thought it would just go
Yeah, it
forever.
caps out at 60.
That's so
I don't get
stupid.
that.
So if
I
you
think there should be like long-term things to go for.
like if you don't play the game for a year, you should come back to like a trillion chocolate. Who cares?
You know what there should be? There should be like a golden rabbit skin or a diamond rabbit skin that you can just put on like you put it on your Necron helmet and it costs a trillion chocolate or
Dude, that
whatever.
would
I
be
don't know.
so easy for them. Make a
Yeah,
rabbit
that'd
pet
be
skin, make a like a diamond head skin,
yeah.
make a rabbit hat skin, make them
Yeah.
cost a
Go crazy
bajillion
with that.
coins, and make them
Just like
soulbound.
yeah, just crazy cosmetics that you can get if you want to be a lunatic and I don't know, log back in a year and a half. I don't know. That'd be cool. It'd be something for I don't know people to collect a ton of chocolate for. Um, I think that the rabbit system is like I think when I say I didn't like it before, I was meaning more so. I think it's a little cliche, maybe not just like the most interesting. I don't think it needs to be particularly interesting. It's just that I don't know. I log on, I get my Hitman. I don't really care about it anymore. I log off,
Yeah.
whatever. It doesn't really entertain me long term, which I think they wanted it to be a little bit more successful in that regard. Beastiary, I think, is a little weird. Some parts of Beastiary, comically easy, not really a big deal at all. I don't care about. Other parts, very frustrating and annoying. Um, I think that the rewards are simultaneously really good and also terrible at the same time. And just once again, one of those things where it's all over the place for me.
I think Beastiary is like the closest that you can get to what I was talking about earlier with like the
Yeah, a
collection log and
compendium
getting
kind
the
of thing.
drops.
Yeah.
It gives 1 XP per tier. Like
Hmm.
nobody's it doesn't give crazy good rewards. You get your legendary Grandma Wolf and that takes about 5 seconds to get. Um, and then you get some Skyblock XP and combat XP along the way. I think it's fine. I I don't think it's the best content in the game, but it gives like endgame players something to do. I gotta
Okay.
kill 100,000 ghosts. I don't.
Yeah, I guess that's fair enough. I remembered something else that I thought was very bad. I think, very hot take for me, I think Infernal Kudra just sucks. And not because it's like hard or anything like that, because objectively, if you know what you're doing, it really isn't hard. It's that I feel like you have to play it the way a TAS would play it, and I think that that's kind of stupid. I think that it's so reliant on you being in exactly XYZ position at any given point in the fight, it becomes absurdly competitive or repetitive.
Yeah.
And I just think that that's very dumb to design a boss, especially a boss that is supposed to drop armor that is useful for literally every player. Like, I don't know. That's just kind
Mm.
of silly to me.
Now I am incredibly biased because I hate Kudra. I still don't have my 5K collection. I've been slowly chipping away at that. Um, I don't know if that's what I would argue is bad about it. I personally just think it's really boring. I don't even know, like, honestly, I'd say Kudra is like some of the best. I think that it's good that we have like our one super endgame boss encounter is like
Yeah,
dungeons, a super randomized like long thing. Takes like, whatever, 8 minutes.
yeah,
And then we have Kudra, which is like not randomized
short.
and it takes 2 minutes and it's like very
Hmm.
repetitive. I think that's fine. I think that bosses should be repetitive and so like I don't think that like, oh, you do Mage Outlaw and he should be doing like random attacks. Like I think it's fine that
Yeah,
it's the same thing every time.
I think we're using kind of different definitions of the word repetitive. Like for example, I consider Slayers to be very repetitive. You're doing the same boss over and over again.
Yeah.
But at least with like an Enderman boss, if I'm doing it, I don't have to go to this exact position in this room and then move to this exact position in the same room and then, from position to position, following this exact same setup and lineup that I have to do every time. There's some variance there, whether that be maybe the boss teleports in a weird way and now I have to, react to that or something or other. There are small ways that can happen in Infernal Kudra, from my understanding, just not in ways that I think make the general pace of the fight significantly different. And I think that kind of sucks. I would love to see the fight remain short and remain, this relatively repetitive thing, but allow the players to showcase their individual skills a little bit more and maybe not be as strict when it comes to specific like where you're literally placing your character.
Yeah, tentacles suck. It's just not fun.
Mm, it's
Um,
not.
I agree with you. I
Yippee.
never thought I would say it. I agree with you. Like Kudra is they need to get like an outside guy on the team. They
They
need
need to
to
get a
stop.
QA or two guy, yeah.
Yeah, like
I even feel like with nerds, they're not able to get the QA that's like super necessary.
what
You
does
know,
nerds even do? What do they got going on in there?
they got
Probably
QA
nothing.
going on. They did some work on. I think their biggest contribution was to Better Mayors this year.
I didn't mind Better Mayors. I thought Better Mayors
No,
was
I thought it
chill.
was good. I thought it was a good update. It's just that was their biggest contribution, from my understanding. Although right now, I think they're going through like a bit of a shakeup in terms of who's a member and who isn't and all that. They've been firing some people.
Oh yeah, I should
Yeah.
apply. They should. I could save that game.
Dude, I should apply too. We could apply together. We could join as a joint ticket and save Skyblock. Trust.
Save Skyblock, dude. New mayor, guys. Next time Dante comes back, you know who to write in.
Yeah,
You
gotta
know a
write
name to
me
write.
in. Hell yeah.
All
I
right.
don't know. I'm
Should we nip this thing in the bud?
Yeah, I think I'm shocked at how much I agreed with you on, and I am shocked at generally how chill this turned out to be. I was half expecting to get it. I had my game face on. I was telling Jade, I'm like, Jade, I'm gonna cook him. I'm gonna cook him. It's over. We're gonna have to go to war over this, but no, we turned up and it's not even like a big deal at all. I think that we both just want what's best for Skyblock. I think we just disagree on like the specifics and the details there. Um, I think they're going in a good direction. We gotta wait for foraging, obviously. Another 3 years for that. But whenever that does drop, I imagine it'll be fine. And that's just how it is, man. That's just how it is.
Yeah, and also we made it over the 1 hour mark, so this is like
Woohoo!
officially a
It's like
podcast.
it's a podcast. Let's
It's not just a
go.
long conversation.
Yeah.
Um, if this ever sees a part two, let me know who should be on it. Guys, do you want Derailious to be a recurring guest?
Listen, I can talk about things other than Skyblock balance.
Yeah,
I
I
have
also
I
don't
have
want
a
to talk
life.
about I don't want to talk about Skyblock all day. We
Yeah.
got to talk
So
about some other stuff with whoever's on here next. Um,
absolutely.
I hate this game. After we're done, I'm closing this. I'm playing RuneScape. Um, anyways, I'm gonna
So
cut this thing
true.
off. I'm gonna hit stop recording. Goodbye.